You don't have to push yourself to do every type of exercise just because everybody else is doing it. I feel like at our age, obviously running is huge. And you keep saying, oh, I just love for you to do marathons with me. I just love for you to do marathons with me. Do it. But I do not feel good running. And I know it's good to feel uncomfortable. And I know it's good to push yourself. But it's different for me. I physically feel bad.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the podcast Chatzzz. And we have a recurring guest back on the podcast. Claudia, welcome back.
Thanks.
After huge popular demand, she's been requested after she gave me lots of relationship tips and we had a good couples therapy episode. So
let's just keep in mind he hasn't actually acted on any of those tips yet.
Yeah, because we're recording this podcast about 2 days apart.
It's not 2 days. It's been at least a week.
Yeah, today's our last day in this beautiful, amazing villa that feels...
Which is very sad. I could actually cry.
Which feels very much like home, doesn't it now?
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a nice barbecue on Sunday, didn't we? A few people around. Maybe it stayed on for a bit longer than we'd hoped, but...
No, not hoped, just expected.
Expected, yeah.
I thought it was going to be like a couple hours kind of thing, and it ended up being a...
all day,
all
into
night
the night
thing. But no, it was nice. It was nice to play host and pretend this is ours, but in our heads.
I know. When people were coming, I think they were like, oh my God, this is amazing. And we were like, do we just play it off like it's ours? Or do we say it's actually just an Airbnb?
We've been saying though, it's kind of good to almost role play this life because then you know it exists and then you have something to work towards.
Yeah, definitely. And do you know what? I've just realised I haven't put the lights on. I know it's not going to make too much difference, but I will. But do you want to intro people into what we're going to talk about today? Because it's not going to be a normal flow of the Chatzzz podcast. It's going to be talking about topics.
I don't think the last one was either because I refused to do the free facts about me. I remember in school, mine always used to be, my mum's from New Zealand. Even though that's not actually about me. I just thought that was really cool. I was like, yeah, I'm actually not English, even though I definitely am. But yeah, we're going to be talking about kind of a healthy lifestyle and what that means to us and how we both use different methods to feel good. So you're obviously into your running and I am definitely not. And I'm into Pilates and you try sometimes.
Yeah. I did reformer for the first time the other day.
Yeah.
Yesterday? No, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because even on Sunday, I think everyone thinks I'm a professional marathon runner the way they were talking. Some people were talking to me. But I was like... I shouldn't say that actually. I'm definitely not. But yeah, I think it's important, I feel personally for me, and I know you agree, is to have some kind of like fitness or health goals or focus to work towards or work on, isn't it? Because I feel like if you're fitter and healthier and you feel better within yourself, then yeah, you're going to be better mentally as well. It's more than just the physical.
Yeah, I mean, I've been quite lucky in that obviously, my parents, they've been into fitness. They used to be PTs and they still kind of run and go to the gym now. So I've definitely been brought up with that in mind. But it wasn't really until I got older that I started to realise the mental health benefits too that can come from exercise. I think when you're younger, you just kind of exercise because you want a certain body or you want to achieve a certain physical goal. But then I think as we've both got older, we've realised there's such a good mental benefit to it.
Yeah. I think when I first went to the gym, I was 16. Well, properly went, got a gym membership.
Yeah.
I was 16 after just finished GCSEs, and I went to Wetherall, which is a small village. Wetherall. I swear I've had this conversation before about it. Yeah.
A lot.
With Henry. Me and Henry joined the gym at, what's that? Is it Crown Hotel?
It's not really relevant.
Or wherever it was, yeah. It's like a hotel gym. And started going there. And the main reason was I wanted to get massive to impress loads of girls. And that was I think that's the reason why most boys start going to the gym. I think
boys, and I think for girls, it's to be as small as you physically can possibly be without literally dying. Like that's the goal.
Yeah. But then I think contrary to that, the bigger... Not that I've ever been absolutely massive, but like the bigger you get, the more confidence from men you get. And I feel like
really?
Girls, I feel like the skinnier you get, the more confidence you get from girls? Because I don't think, do men find skinny, super skinny attractive?
It depends on the man. You'd be surprised.
How creepy they are.
Like, I feel like when I was in Australia, that was when I was probably the smallest I've ever been. And there's definitely probably an older man that tends to go for that look.
Yeah, probably because they want like a young.
Yeah, but then some people say you just look like a small child, but then when that's your goal, you kind of like, oh, thanks, I look like a small child, which is really messed up.
Yeah.
But I feel too, I don't know if it's the same for boys, the smaller you get, the more kind of insecure you actually get. Like sometimes with like body dysmorphia, I feel like with a lot of boys, they're getting bigger but they can't see it, and girls are getting smaller but they can't see it, and it actually kind of has the counter effect to what you were probably wanting.
Oh, definitely. Because, things always change, don't they, from the initial reason why you do something to then how it evolves over time and whatever way it may be. But I think I'm pretty happy where I am now. I'd obviously like to be a little bit leaner and maybe see the abs a bit easier. But physically, I feel, the best I have. Well, maybe the last couple of days I haven't been sleeping as well because we've been eating so late before bed.
Spanish time.
It's so weird. But apart from that, I do feel super good.
Yeah, and I said to you the other day, I'm the same. I think when I switched from trying to be small to trying to be stronger and get better at what I was doing, then my fitness just kind of skyrocketed from there, I feel.
You've recently started going to the gym and doing some weights, haven't you?
Yeah, like I always thought, like, I'm never going to do weights. It's going to make me so bulky. And it just...
Whoa.
Look
at them biceps.
But it doesn't. I think for a girl to get... Not that there's anything wrong with being bulky either. It's just not personally the look I was going for. But it would take a lot for you to get there, not just one workout a week.
And a lot of testosterone as well, I think. Because when we were in... I don't know if we talked about it in the last one, but when we were at Paddle Gym in Marbella, I think I did briefly mention it. Some of the women in there were fucking massive, weren't they? You just think, wow, that is crazy. I'm scared of you.
Yeah.
You're way bigger than me. But it just take a lot, and you probably have to take some form of steroid to get there, because if for girls not being able to produce it naturally, I don't know too much about it. I'm pretending like I do, but.
Well, I think every girl's different too. Like we all have different levels of different hormones in our bodies. And it's like if you take birth control like I do, you'll have a lot more estrogen, so that'll dominate. So it's different. And also I guess it depends on what type of exercises you do, because again, don't quote me on this, but I think weightlifting increases testosterone in your body, I think.
I think it does, yeah.
So I think it's all relative.
Yeah. Because being strong is super important, because when I do listen to podcasts, not even like super strong, just like having some kind of muscle strength. Because even when you get older, isn't it? It's important.
Yeah, like
that's one of the main
leg muscles. If you don't have leg muscle strength, you're basically going to be frail when you're older. That's the most. And they say too, it's like we were listening to that Mel Robbins podcast the other day, and she said that humans aren't made to sit on the bums all day. If they were, we wouldn't have the strongest muscles in our legs. And the first thing we wouldn't do in life is learn to walk.
Yeah.
It's like so important to stay fit and active, even if it is just going for walks. It's like now, as well as we're not old, but we're approaching 30, I think we're thinking about aging a lot more. Again, it's not exercising to look a certain way. It's actually thinking, well, I want to have like longevity. It's not about living the longest possible, it's about having the best quality life for the longest time possible. And I feel like we're already starting to try and help that.
Yeah, because when I was younger, I always wanted to like be like super muscly, and I never really did get there. I was maybe like... That's
not your body type though.
No, I'm naturally like skinny.
You think this, I don't think you're skinny.
I have to eat quite a lot to maintain this. If I didn't eat much, I would like...
I think you eat that much.
Have you seen how big these biceps are?
No, but like you're naturally like your legs are quite, even though you run so much, so you're definitely burning more than you're eating.
Yeah.
But you would maintain your legs, and you don't really do much leg days.
No,
so
not recently. Yeah, because I'll do mainly like single legs now for the running.
Yeah.
I won't squat that much, but I can't even remember what I was going to talk about now. But when I was younger,
you wanted to be huge.
Yeah, and then you do realise that the people that are probably the hugest. Probably the
not healthy.
Least fit and like healthy, because they probably couldn't run like a kilometre.
I can't run.
Yeah. Exhibit A. Look at that beautiful Pilates body, but she can't run 1,000 metres.
Yeah, but I think that leads on nicely into just, you don't have to push yourself to do every type of exercise just because everybody else is doing it. I feel like at our age, obviously running is huge. And you keep saying, oh, I just love for you to do marathons with me. I just love for you to do marathons with me. Do it. But I do not feel good running. And I know it's good to feel uncomfortable. And I know it's good to push yourself. But it's different for me. I physically feel bad. I feel like I get swollen and bloated. And that's actually facts, because when you run, again, this is not a science podcast, so we could be talking. So we probably get all this from TikTok, but I did see that when you run, you get small little muscles and tears in your muscles, and then like they get filled with water to repair them. So they literally do, like, because you hold on to a lot of water, don't you?
Yeah.
And that's probably from that. But anyways, it's just, running is just not for me. I hate it. And that's okay.
Yeah, you don't have to do everything.
You tried to make me.
I think you did about 4 runs and then you gave up, and then I was like, fine.
Yeah, but I tried. I've tried running my whole life, keep in mind, because my parents have always been runners. So I'd say a few times a year, every year since I've been able to run, I've tried running. And it's just, I've reached the point where I'm just not pretending anymore. I just hate it. I think it's horrible. I don't know why. No, I do know why people do it, but it's just not for me.
And this is probably going to cause an argument on the podcast, but the bribe / the deal was I'd get Claudia a pair of running trainers if she ran once a week. And
it wasn't. You said if you do one run with me, I could have the train. No, because I thought, I don't know if anyone else is like this, but if I have a really cute set on, if I have like really good trainers, I'm more likely to do the thing.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, if I have the running trainers, then I'm more likely to run. I've used them all the time though.
No, you do wear them all the time.
I literally wear them all the time, just not to run.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, so I'm a professional marathon runner. When we get back from Ibiza on the 13th of April, so this will probably be past the 13th of April when it gets posted, you're going to be starting a very exciting move in your life, in your career, Pilates instructing.
Indeed.
So what made you want to do that in the first place?
So originally, I guess right now I should be a lawyer. That was kind of what was meant to happen. I got my master's at uni, but I never really had that passion and drive for it. I was really good at it, which is kind of contrary to what a lot of people think. They think if you're good at something, then you should kind of run with it. But even though I was good at it, I never sat there and thought, oh, I can't wait to leave uni and get my training contract and become a lawyer. Like that just didn't sound that appealing to me. So instead, booked a one-way flight to Australia, as you know, and then came back. And I think Australia was kind of just like carrying on uni for another 4 years. And then you get back to England and you're just in this position of like, okay, what do I do now? So I got a job just at a law firm, just kind of to see what it actually felt like it was like in action, I guess. And I despised it. Like, how much did I hate my life every single day? I tend to try and be quite a positive person, but it was just hell. Like the way, I mean, some people enjoy it, I get it, but the way law is glamorized is not how it is in person. Even financially, yes, you can make a lot of money, but it tends to take people 30 years to get to that point, which I don't have the patience for.
Yeah.
I thought you
were going to say why I don't have the patience for something or whatever.
Oh, no. Yeah.
But no, I think, it's my first ever business partner. He did law at uni and then he was paralegal maybe or some kind of assistant. And I can't remember the exact amount of money he was being paid, but maybe like
it's so low.
16 or 18,000 pounds. But this is like 10 years.
No, it still is a paralegal. It's like really low. But the thing is, at uni, it's fun, but the real working world is not fun. And I think kind of the 9 to 5 life in general isn't probably something that I've ever been made for. I think you obviously know me very well, and it kind of goes against everything in me.
Yeah, but I think I was having this discussion actually the other day, maybe with Kevin on the podcast, or I can't remember who, maybe not on the podcast at all, but a lot of people would say hide behind the suit and tie. So they put it on as like not a facade, but it's like an armor, isn't it? Being like, oh yeah, I'm so important. I know what I'm doing. You all need to respect me. But then behind that, what have they actually got?
I don't like that.
Oh, really?
No, I don't. I think people do it because they've never known anything different, and it's what society is telling them to do. You've got to think from a young age, we're brought up to think that the law jobs, the accountancy jobs, the whatever, the office jobs, that's the goal. It's like we're conditioned to think the rat race is how you achieve things in life. I don't think people might, how do you know people don't have good lives behind the suit? Just because someone does it doesn't mean they don't have substance.
Yeah, it's a generalisation though, isn't it? But I think in the modern day, you don't need to wear a suit and tie to do well, do you really?
Well, you don't, but what if they want to wear a suit and tie?
Yeah, that's fine. But you can see like lots of like, I don't know, tech entrepreneurs wearing like hoodies and shorts in the bedroom.
Yeah, but no one's saying that
millions.
you do need to wear a suit and tie to be successful.
No, I'm not saying that either.
Some people just like dressing up smart.
Yeah, which I'm not one of them, but that's fine.
No, you, just because you like to be in gym stuff all the time.
Basically, I'm just saying I don't want to wear a suit and tie
Which is
to whatever.
I think as much as we shit on the 9 to 5, for some people it's perfect. You have stability, you have security, you have a solid paycheck coming in every week. I feel like we're really diverted from Pilates.
No, we haven't.
Anyways, so how did it actually properly come about? I feel
Because
like,
it's one thing having a hobby, and then it's one thing wanting to do that hobby as a job.
exactly. And I do think I can be quite guilty of takes one Pilates class and suddenly wants to be like, I can be quite, I don't know what the word is.
Obsessive.
Yeah, with things I enjoy. But I think this was a bit different. I think at the start we were talking about mental health. And I think it's always, like I've always done kind of YouTube videos, Pilates, but now that I'm actually doing it, I kind of realize that it's probably not actually a real Pilates. But yeah, I just knew that I hated my job and couldn't do that. But then there was a gap though, in between me quitting and coming to Pilates, I feel.
What did you want to do in the interim then? Can you remember?
I had no clue, did I?
Yeah, this career
I
break.
actually had no clue. I think when I quit, it wasn't with any, I didn't have any like, oh, I'm quitting to do this. It was quitting to just work on myself and my life. Like it was just like going to therapy, like healing myself. And then when I was doing that, I think Pilates became a really big part of my life.
Had you ever done Pilates classes before you joined that reform one?
No.
So I was at home. That's interesting.
I think I've done a couple mat ones in Australia,
Okay.
but not consistently.
Yeah, that's the thing for me. In lockdown, maybe I did some workouts at home, but I've never really been into working out at home. I like to like go and do it in a different
Yeah, but you
environment.
also would always do weights, so you would have to have the weights at home.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're doing a Pilates video, sometimes it's so easy to just put it on the TV.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying it in my situation because I did have weights at home, but never really been into using it. But you've always, since I've known you, done the like Pilates at home, which I think, yeah fair enough. Because you could. Well, I'm just thinking, if it was me, I could always use the excuse of, oh, I'm not going to Pilates class, I'm not going to do it at home, so I don't want to do it at home. Whereas you've always done it consistently at home, which I think is good. Shows you actually do enjoy it because it's like, there's so many distractions you can do at home, isn't it? You can watch TV, you can make food, you can just chill on the sofa.
I've never, ever had a problem with that, to be fair, ever. I've just, if I say I'm going to do it, I'll just do it. And I think because I enjoy it as well. But I have, since doing classes, I think it was in Australia when we did the Pilates classes there. Obviously, I enjoyed doing the reformer classes at home. But when we went to them ones, and that whole, it's like the kind of community of it, and everyone's in their cute sets, and everyone's unbelievably strong. We were shocked, weren't we? We went to Body by Burner in Bondi Beach, and the girls there, it was crazy. Like, it was inspiring. I was like, I want to be that good.
Yeah, a lot of them were a lot more muscly than me, so I was humbled massively.
Yeah, you're sweating and dying.
Yeah, when do you think it was that you thought that you wanted to be an instructor or teacher?
Why do I feel like I don't remember anything from the past year? When did we?
Because I think, say from June till, because when did you sign up for that 6-week course class?
It would have been like October, I think.
October. So was it before October or after October when you done?
I honestly can't remember. But all I know is that once the idea came to me, it just felt so right. I think I've never had something in my life that I've felt like I was destined to do. Like, you know, when people from the moment they can talk, they say, I want to be a doctor. And that's just all they ever want. I've just never, ever, ever had that. And I think when I came to the thought of doing the Pilates course and being a Pilates teacher, it was the first time in my life that anything has kind of made sense. And I think whenever I say to any of my friends about it, they all just say, oh my God, that makes so much sense. Like I can so see that for you. So yeah, it just felt right. And I think obviously I would always tell you about how in therapy, me and my therapist used to talk about Pilates a lot, because she always says how it's important to have a kind of safe space. Like everyone should have a space in their life where they feel safe in. And for some people that's with a certain person, or it's a certain room, or it's a walking place they can go to. And for so long, I could not, I was like, I don't have one of these. I don't know where feels safe. Everywhere feels kind of hectic to me at the minute. And then I realized it was doing Pilates. And I remember saying to her, I was like, is that right? And I was like, I think it's Pilates, thinking, can that be right? And she's like, no, like your safe place can be a workout class or doing a workout. So yeah.
What do you think the main benefits are doing Pilates for you mentally?
So I feel like Pilates is all about getting back control of your body. Like every movement is quite slow, which I know you struggled with when we did it. It's slow and controlled. And I think when you feel really out of control in your life, as a lot of us do when we go through a really shocking, traumatic event, it just kind of brings you back into your body. Like I am really bad at disassociating. As soon as something bad happens to me, I just kind of check out, which is fine for a while, but it's super counterproductive. You can't run from anything, is a big thing I've learned. And when you do Pilates, you're kind of forced to come back into your body and you feel things, like you feel everything. And I think it just kind of gives you that mental clarity and control back over your life. And for me personally, when I'm doing it, I can't think of anything else. I'm just thinking of, because it's quite complex, especially on the reformer, you have to really think, because the instructor doesn't usually demonstrate it. So she's saying left hand here and right foot here and bend your back and do all this stuff. So you have to really think about it. So for me, having an hour of time when I do Pilates where my brain's not got in overdrive thinking about all the life stuff just makes me feel so calm and at peace. And I think when I come out, you always say to me, oh, you feel so much lighter, you look so much happier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true. I think that's a very good answer. You covered a lot of things there. Because yeah, a lot of people these days I feel are busy or stressed or got a lot going on in general. And they may use the excuse of I don't have time, but everybody has time for like an hour a week, don't they?
Everybody has time. I think the most busiest, richest business people in the world make time for themselves, because if you're not making that time for yourself, you're not going to be successful in your business or in whatever you're doing, because it really does. It all starts with you and your mind and body. And when you're not putting time into that, you're eventually going to burn out. And when you burn out, your relationships aren't going to be good. You're not going to be able to do your job, and you're just going to be really at rock bottom.
And I think even if you're not in business and you just, say a stay-at-home mum, I don't know how many stay-at-home mums are listening to this right now or watching it, but anybody in their lives, and if it's like 15, 20, 30 quid for an hour a week, the benefits further down the road are going to be so much better, because you're going to be happier, healthier, more like mentally sharp, so you'll be making better decisions for yourself and your family and all that kind of thing. So yeah, that may be one thing that people might consider like, oh, it might be expensive, but even just if it's Pilates, if it's yoga, if it's whatever, it will have big benefits. Because I felt even the benefits myself doing more Pilates and yoga since I've been over in Marbella for my running, even though I am quite sore all the time because I've been doing like 2 classes a day.
Yeah,
but
I've been really going for it.
Stretching has definitely helped my legs, because I found when I'm running, that like my legs will be like more stuck like that rather than straight.
Yeah, you struggle
and then
to
also,
we were in a bar class yesterday. Oh no, I was actually telling you to bend your leg yesterday. He cheats. He doesn't do it properly. And it really I literally pushed his leg. I was like, stop cheating.
Yeah, so when we do the bar, the instructor was like the other end, so it's like a bit of an L shape or like an R shape, if I'm thinking that way, a little R. And she was like at the top of the art and I was at the bottom of the arse. I was just like hiding away, just thinking I can get away with murder here. But Claudia was correcting my form. I was like, fuck's sake.
I feel like it's like already in me. Like, no.
Yeah, but I felt better yesterday because last week I'd done like a HIIT class before it.
Oh, yesterday I did an hour of former class straight into the bar class, and I had this like cramp that would not go away in my leg. But I kind of reached this point, I said to you, where it was hurting that much. It couldn't get any worse. So I just stayed with a consistent hurt. But yeah, no, it's been so good. And I think too I was saying to you with doing the Pilates, I really think there should be a kind of conversation between therapists or psychologists and then PTs, because I think people think the mind and body are separate. You can look after your body without looking after your mind, or the other way around. But it's so all connected, like quite physically. Like I think it's strange that people don't think of them as being connected, because we literally have things inside us connecting it all. So I feel like if someone's been through something traumatic and they're going to therapy, or even if someone's just overwhelmed with their everyday life and they're going to therapy or they're not going to therapy, I don't know, there should be a conversation between like the psychologists and the physical people in life to kind of come together, and they can refer people like one to the other. Because I think Henry was saying he feels like when he was a PT, he kind of became an unpaid therapist at the same time. So yeah, I just think there should be more of a conversation. Hopefully, once I do my training and get things set up, I can kind of start that.
Yeah, I think that'd be good. Because I even notice if I don't go to the gym or do some exercise for say 2 days, I think 2 days is the max. If I don't do exercise for 3 days, I start to feel like sluggish and lethargic and just like, nah. Because you just need to get your body moving, don't you? But I can see why people don't exercise, because if I say go into that 3 day, I'm like out of the routine, and it's more effort for me to either go to the gym or go for a run, because I'm just in the, oh yeah, I'll just sit and chill and watch TV. I think too,
there's a conversation to be had about the idea of being kind to yourself. And I think I can be guilty of sometimes not being all that kind to myself. But I think there's different ways of being kind to yourself. And sometimes you can say you're being kind to yourself. So you stay in bed all day, you don't work out, you eat the chocolate cake, which I think is fine occasionally. But if you slip into always saying you're being kind to yourself when you're doing those things, are you actually being kind to yourself? Are you being kind to your brain? Are you being kind to your body? Are you being kind to your future self that has to deal with these consequences? It's like that short-term gratification instead of thinking of long-term what's going to be good for you. Like I remember the first thing I would start with is just, I'd call them mental health walks. So every day, even if it was just 15 minutes a day, just try and get out of the house. And then once you do that, you feel like, oh, now I can do something else. Or maybe you have to go back to bed, and that's fine too. But I think there is a level of balance in being kind to yourself and pushing yourself to do better and be better, because in the long run, you are going to feel better for it. And I know it's hard when you're really in the gutter of life, but like I've been there, and I think I've managed to get out the other end to some degree if I look. And that's only from kind of forcing myself to do the hard things.
It is hard though to sometimes give up that short-term gratification or that short-term dopamine hit for the longer-term benefit, because you can't like feel or see the benefit or feel the feeling in the future, can you?
No, but I think that's why, say you commit yourself to an hour's Pilates class, you know afterwards you're literally going to have endorphins release. Like you are going to feel good. So if you can just see an hour into the future of how you are going to feel good after this and act based on that, then that's a good step. I was saying with walking, if you can just understand that if you just put one step in front of the other and get out into the fresh air, you're going to pretty much instantly feel better.
I think it meant more in the sense of, say, doing one Pilates class is great, going for one walk is great, but that one action long-term isn't going to have that much benefit. It's like the consistency, isn't it? So it's like doing one Pilates class every week for
No, but I guess what I'm trying to say is if you just do one, you're more likely to do the next and the next. I think the hardest part is just starting.
Yeah, definitely.
Because once you start, your brain then relates, oh, that actually felt good. But when you get into a pattern of not doing it, your brain can't understand, well, if I do this thing, I'm going to feel good, because it hasn't had that feeling. All it knows is that safety and comfort of staying in your room or staying in your bed and not having to kind of push yourself.
So if somebody's feeling lazy, feeling out of shape, and they're wanting to get better physically and mentally, how would they get into Pilates, or what would you recommend they do to get into Pilates?
So if you're really, really unconfident and uncomfortable in your body and just generally not feeling good in life, I would actually go back to, I know this isn't Pilates, but just start walking. Just start going outside and moving your body. Just loosen everything up. And then after that, I'd say just start with home workouts, honestly, which is kind of counterintuitive to if I want to be a Pilates instructor. But I feel like if you're really not feeling good in yourself, the last thing you want to do is go to a class and you have that fear of, what if I can't do it? What if everyone else is this, blah, blah, all these things running through your brain. So I would just start Move with Nicole on YouTube is really good, or Alani Fit on YouTube is really good. Move with Nicole is a bit harder. Alani Fit is a bit easy, but there's loads of people that have them on for all levels. So I just do a few of those at home. Commit yourself to even, there's some that are only 15 minutes a day. And if you can just commit yourself to 15 minutes a day, you're going to start feeling better in yourself. And then I think once you build up your confidence a bit, just try a class. So there's beginner classes. And the one thing I'd say about classes is it's never as scary as you think it's going to be. Like, I was shitting myself to do reformer for the first time, but I did join a kind of beginner's course because I was so scared. But in retrospect, I didn't need to do the beginner's course. Like, it's okay. The teacher is going to talk you through everything. And there is some videos where somebody like flies off the reformer head first, but that never happened to you. It never happened to me. Like, it's very unlikely that's going to happen. So just know when you go to a class, pretty much all Pilates classes are super inclusive. Just don't go to the advanced class. Maybe, because that will scare you and put you off it forever. Like, you and I went to your pocket Pilates in, where are we, Maverick? And I did an intermediate class and I got through it fine, but I was like, oh my God, it wasn't too scary. But yeah, I just think, just start going to classes, and there's going to be people there of all different levels and experience. There's probably going to be someone there that's beginning just like you. And then when you're at classes, you kind of start to chat to people who are on that also journey of trying to be healthier and fitter. And it's just inspiring. And I think alongside that, it's super important to try and clean up your diet. Like, we talk about this a lot. And this doesn't mean eating as little as physically as possible. And it doesn't mean being super, super strict on yourself. It just means trying to make the majority of your diet whole foods and kind of anti-inflammatory foods. And the way it kind of transforms everything is crazy. Like, food is medicine, and people should like look at food as medicine more than they do as some medicines, I think. But if I have a few days of eating super processed, unhealthy foods, I just start to feel like absolute crap. Like, we joke, we have our like yearly 5 Guys, and it feels really good when you have it. But then we wake up the next day and we're like, oh my God. Yeah, and we had a workout class and I was like, I'm not performing to the best of my ability. I'm not feeling good. But equally, you need to fuel yourself, because I've also been in a place where I wasn't feeling my body. And again, I wouldn't be able to perform well in Pilates. So it's just finding that balance. I'd say a lot of people say 80-20 rule. And I think that's perfect, really.
Yeah, I think like 5 Guys the other day, the main thing for me is just not eating too close to bed. Because the next day I'll feel horrendous. Like, today I'd not feel good because I ate like chicken and potatoes.
So late.
Like, literally just like a whole chicken that we scraped off and some like potatoes. So like whole healthy foods, you'd say. And yeah, my Whoop recovery is like 53%, but I just do not feel good because your body's still like processing the food and still working when it should just be like resting. So yeah, that's one thing I'd recommend. And that's the one thing we did about the 5 Guys. I keep saying the one thing, don't I?
Yeah, I think it's like, if you can try, because I think, well, breakfast is a bit controversial. I think there's some people that need it, there's some people that don't. I personally don't need to eat for the first few hours of the day, and it actually makes me feel quite sick. But if I have a class I'll have a banana or something like that. But I think before bed, if you can just try 2 to 3 hours before, at least not have a super heavy meal, you're going to feel so much better and sleep so much better because your body can actually focus on recovering whilst you're asleep instead of digesting your food.
Yeah, because when we had that Five Guys the other day, we literally had it and then went to bed the next second. So
yeah, I actually read the other day too about, again, not science probably, but why there's science behind why it's not good to eat a heavy meal straight before you work out. It's because your body has to use energy to digest the food, so it can't use the energy to actually, like, it doesn't send the things to your muscles, it's sending it all
so
to your
basically
belly.
you're never allowed to eat because your body's just fucking rude as fuck.
No, you can't eat. It's just working out the timings. But I guess too,
It's a lot of planning involved, isn't it?
and I can understand from a place of, like, I was in a 9 to 5 for a long time, and I get how it can sometimes be a bit harder, whether it's exercise, like, or I guess all this is coming from a place of not having a traditional working schedule. But I think if you do work out, if you're a morning or evening workout person first,
Yeah,
I think that's the start.
I would 100% the morning. 100%.
See, I've always thought that too. Yet we've been doing yoga classes in the evening. And
Yeah.
it's actually been really nice.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't class yoga.
No, I know.
I wouldn't class
this
yoga
is
as a
talking about
workout.
people doing Pilates and yoga. So
Yeah, maybe true. Yeah, I
because
guess.
some people just cannot get, like, because if you're working 9 to 5 and wherever the gym is, wherever you work is, these people might have to get up at 5 a.m.
I think if you're doing a class, I'm saying it from my. If I'm doing a class, I can do it in the evening, but I couldn't go for a run or go. Yeah, I obviously can,
do that.
but I couldn't go for a run, or it's not as easy for me to go for a run or go for a workout by myself because it's using that internal motivation, which literally.
Look, but you get to wake up pretty much at any time you want.
Yeah, but I'll still choose to wake up and go to the gym and go for a run first thing.
Yeah, like 7, 8. But what about if someone has to get up at 4?
Go to bed at like 5 p.m.
No, I think it's personal. Just work out what works best for you.
Whatever works for you, that works for me.
And then a few days a week, just try and just book a class. Because if you've got a class booked in, it's so much more motivating. Like, you're not going to be rude and cancel it.
And if you can go with a friend as well, I think that's a good motivation as well. Because if you're feeling a bit shit and then they're just like, come on, let's just go, it'll be good. It's like that extra accountability part.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, when it comes to, like, the question you said before about getting back healthy and feeling good, it's just the basics. It's sleep, food, moving. And it doesn't need to be so complicated of all these, like, crazy things that you have to do and all these supplements. I think that's another thing. People get so overwhelmed with, oh, I'm going to have to take all these supplements. And you don't. If you're getting your nutrients from food, like, there might be some things you take to enhance certain things, but if you're just a normal day-to-day person, like, we've been taking amino acids in the morning with electrolytes because we've been working out, like, kind of crazy. But if you were just day-to-day, you wouldn't need that every single day. It's just, you can get, and it's better to get your nutrients from your food too, because your body can absorb them better than from a pill. Yeah. But it's almost treating yourself like a child. Like, what does a child need? They need to be like, good nutrients. They need to move their bodies so they're tired out at the end of the day, and they need to have good sleep. It's just going back to the basics, I feel.
Yeah. No, it is keeping things simple, isn't it? I suppose I'm just like a creature of habit in the sense of I'll just quite happily eat the same foods every day when I'm back home, because I just know it's relatively okay, and I should, probably eat more.
The only thing you shouldn't do is eat tuna every day and eggs every day, because that's not actually good for you.
Yeah.
It's just mixing it up a bit and having a bit more, like, fruit and vegetables.
Yeah, because I think if you had a few different options of, like, standard foods that you have,
that's
even during
completely
the week,
fine.
Yeah, and then, like, at the weekend, if you wanted to go a little bit crazy, go a little bit crazy. But if you're working Monday to Friday, I mean, if you've got a couple of different options, just have them.
I feel like that's what I do. I have, like, but it'll change. So there'll be a month where I have this, like, solid meal, like chicken salad wraps, and then it'll change to something else. But just find some core easy meals that are quick and healthy. And you kind of, I personally don't calorie count now, but I feel like because I have in the past, I have a pretty good gauge on what things are. But I don't think it's necessary. If you're picking whole healthy foods, just don't overdo it on the avocados.
Yeah, because avocado is very, very fatty.
But it's good fat.
Yeah.
Do you struggle to understand sometimes?
No, I'll have like half an avocado, but my body doesn't process fat very well.
Your body doesn't process anything very well, apparently.
My body's fucked. So yeah, what are you most looking forward to when you do your Pilates course after you finish and complete it?
Teaching Pilates.
What kind of? I was going to say more. Rephrase the question. So you've done quite a few Pilates classes now, a couple of reformer places, a few mat places. So when you qualify, what are you most looking forward to do when you're teaching and putting your own spin and style on it?
Yeah, because they say you should teach a class you would want to do, right? And obviously, I still need to learn all the technicalities of the movements and stuff. But I think for me, it's just the big focus on including mental and physical health into the classes. I think I love it when the classes kind of start with breathing and setting an intention for yourself, whether that's just to kind of get through the class and feel strong, or it's to like have some mental clarity about your day or feel good afterwards. I think I love that idea of kind of setting an intention and just having this 1 hour space that you carve out in your day and just making it a super positive, inclusive space that people feel good going to. I don't want it to be a kind of gym vibe. Like, I like the gym and I like going, but I don't want it to feel like you're at a gym. I want it to feel like you're in a calm, nice space, I feel.
Very good. So hopefully when this podcast comes out, you'll have completed your initial course and then you'll be doing your hours.
Yeah, so basically you have to do, it's like 4 days intensive training. So like 4 days in person. And then you have to do hours self-practice, observation and teaching. So hopefully get that done in a couple of months. And then we'll be going to Bali. So that'll be a nice space to kind of think about what the next steps are. Yeah. And then hopefully start teaching when I get back.
Yeah. You can even, it'd be good to do some classes in Bali and see what their vibe is, because I feel like that's a place where loads of people go now, isn't it?
Well, I feel like every place we go to, I'm so glad I've got to experience Pilates in Australia, Pilates in Marbella, obviously Pilates back home, because I kind of feel like everywhere you go, you kind of pick up little bits of what people do. And I do think England's a bit behind on the culture of Pilates. I don't think it's really taken off. Like, you see it here and it's just huge. It's more of a community than anything. Whereas I feel like often when I go to a class in England, it's very much just kind of in and out and you do your thing and you do it and then whatever. Whereas it's like, I would like to create a community amongst people like they do out here. Yeah,
definitely. It might be bigger in London probably.
Yeah, I definitely think so. But I think when you don't have the sun and the outdoor space.
Yeah, it makes such a difference, doesn't it?
It's just a completely different vibe.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we should wrap it up because we need to do some content and finish up packing because we're checking out in about less than an hour now. So any closing thoughts, any words of wisdom? You are creeping up on the most recurring guest. I think Henry's maybe done 5 or 6 episodes. So you're two in. So yeah, you're a third of the way there. Anything you wanted to close on? Any final messages?
Like what?
I don't know. Any motivational speeches, quotes, messages to the people?
I just feel like to anyone watching, you need to prioritize yourself. Your mental health, your physical health, whether that's going to therapy, Pilates, running, eating good. Just find what works for you and what makes you feel good and do it. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, what anyone else is doing. You don't need to compare yourself. Just find what makes you feel good and works for you. And that's how you should live your life.
And then have you thought of what the name of your social media accounts is going to be?
I have not.
So follow some name that is yet to be decided. So yeah. Okay, everybody. Hope you enjoy this one. I enjoy this a lot more than the last one because I didn't get interrogated and abused. So thank you very much for being such an amazing guest. I love you so much.
Thanks.
Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like the video, subscribe, comment your favourite part. Any questions for Claudia, let them in there.
You're starving.
And then if you're listening on Spotify, Apple, make sure to follow the podcast and leave a 5-star review and see you next time. Bye.